rolling into pre. Here we go. Pay attention to your pain. Reach out and find your comfort. Take a walk and play some music. Make the time to start the healing. Let the healing begin. Let the healing begin. Look to the sky and breathe it in. Look to the sky and breathe it in. Feel the sunshine on your skin. Feel the sunshine on your skin. And let your life resume again. And let your life resume again. Pay attention to your pain. Reach out and find your comfort. Take a walk and play some music. Make the time to start the healing. Let the healing begin. Let the healing begin. Look to the sky and breathe it in. Look to the sky and breathe it in. Feel the sunshine on your skin. Feel the sunshine on your skin. And let your life resume again. And let your life resume again. Pay attention to your pain. Reach out and find your comfort. Take a walk and play some music. Make the time to start the healing. Let the healing begin. Let the healing begin. Look to the sky and breathe it in. Look to the sky and breathe it in. Feel the sunshine on your skin. Feel the sunshine on your skin. And let your life resume again. And let your life resume again. For this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my health, Spirit, thank you for my health. Thank you for my health, Spirit, thank you for my health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. And thank you for joining us here at our Zoom Sunday service at Unity Spiritual Center of San Francisco. I'm so glad that you have found us as we discover new ways of keeping connected during this time. It's wonderful to see your faces. When you see me looking off to the side, I am checking you all out, and really lovely to see all of you, some old and new friends, and just know that I'm keeping all of you in my prayers. And for those who are joining us for the first time, I look forward to hopefully meeting you in person when we're able to come together again safely. It's nice to have you here on Father's Day, and I want to acknowledge not only those who are actual fathers, but also those who fulfill fathering roles. And um, if you have joined us before on Mother's Day, you know that I like to acknowledge the different kinds of fathering energy and fathering roles that are alive and well in our world. There's a wide spectrum of experiences when it comes to that fathering energy, and I just want to acknowledge the men in our audience who may fit into one of these categories. So today I want to acknowledge men who are faithful husbands and fathers, men who have regrets in the way they parented, men who have just become first-time dads and radiate joy, men who lost children or grandchildren this year, who ache profoundly and for whom words are inadequate, men who walk the paths of infertility with their wives but are supposed to be the strong one, men who aren't providing for their families in the ways that they want, men who did not have positive role models for fathers and who are doing the best that they can, men who love fathering and walk honorably in that role, men who are co-parenting and are not able to be with their children as much as they want, men who are estranged from their children, both relationally and physically, men who lost their father this year, men who long to be husbands and dads, yet find themselves single, men who are proud of the men and women their children have grown up to become. There are also stepfathers, fathers-in-law, foster fathers, and spiritual fathers and mentors in our midst today. So let us take time now just to acknowledge the mighty, brave men in our midst who fulfill one of these fathering roles. Now, one thing before we get started, we are putting all of you on mute as you join us, and we do that so that you don't have to worry about any background noise. And what that means is that for the responsive readings and songs, we're not going to hear your voice, but we encourage you to go ahead and say the words or sing the words in the privacy of your own home. Now, there's going to be two exceptions to that. One is when I ask for a volunteer to read the daily word today. So if you would like to do that, just I can't see myself, so I don't know if you can see my hand. I better put
Your
myself
hand
up there. All
waving.
right, I can see myself now. So just wave your hand like that in front of the webcam, or go into the chat and indicate you're interested in reading the daily word. If you don't have a copy of it, you can right now log on to dailyword.org and you will be able to find the reading for today. We also have a time in our service where you're invited to list your prayer requests aloud for your spiritual family so that we can stand with you and support you. So again, if when we reach that time you would like to say a prayer request aloud, please also indicate that in the chat or wave your hand in front of the camera and we will unmute you so that you can do that during that time. But for now, I invite you just to take a deep breath wherever you are as we go inside our inner sanctuary, where we are always safe, guided, and at peace. Just take this time to let go of any worries or concerns and connect virtually with all of us in this community and with the God of your understanding. Here at Unity Spiritual Center, we celebrate the truth that our God is love, as expressed in Unity's foundation statement, which you are invited to repeat after me at home, or repeat with me. There is only one presence and one power, active as the universe and as my life, God the good, omnipotent. So take another deep breath now. Become comfortable and gently release any cares of the day. Because the only thing that you need to do in this hour is to open yourself up to the love and goodness of the divine as you relax into this sacred time and space at Unity Spiritual Center. For almost 75 years now, we at Unity Spiritual Center have celebrated and honored people of every culture, of every creed, of every religion, of every race, of every age, and every lifestyle, knowing that there are many paths to God, many faces of God, many names for God, but only one God. Seeing through eyes of oneness and acknowledging our oneness, we know that God indwells all people and is expressed through each of us in unique, special, and individual ways. Unity offers positive, practical, progressive spiritual teachings and tools that honor the universal truth in all religions and respects each individual's right to choose a spiritual path. I'm going to take this time now to light our worship candle, which we do every Sunday. So as you can see the light of that candle, remember that you too carry a divine flame within. Remember that you, each one of you, is an individualized expression of God, and that God does God's work in the world through the movements of your heart and your hands. Our vision here at Unity Spiritual Center and the opportunity for you and for each one of us here is that you discover the power within you to create the life of your dreams, that you have peace of mind and deep happiness, that you enjoy joyous and loving relationships with yourself, with spirit, and with others, that you spend your days doing what you love and feel called to do, and most of all, that you know that your life matters, that you make a difference, and that the world is a better place because you're here. So let us pause now to listen, to hear a musical selection that our USC music director, Michael Hatfield, will lead us through. It's one that is familiar, I think, to all of us.
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? coming for to carry me home. A band of angels, and they're coming after me, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. If you get there before I do, coming for to carry me home. Tell all my friends that I'm coming too, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I'm sometimes up and I'm sometimes down, coming for to carry me home. But still my soul feels heavenly bound, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, are coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. One more time, swing low, a sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Sweet low, sweet chariot, 'cause you're coming for to carry me home.
And a reminder to our watchers that if you would like to indicate appreciation for one of our presenters today, you can always do that little reaction, that little emoji, which is in the reactions section of your Zoom. Or, of course, feel free to use the webcam to express appreciation. So as we continue to get comfortable and relax even more deeply into this time of worship, prayer, and meditation, let us open our hearts to receive the message of today's daily word. And I'm going to scroll down here and see if we have a volunteer to read today's daily word. Is there anyone on the call today who would like to read our daily word? All right, anyone? Is that Cheryl Hodgins? Let's see.
Yeah, I'll read it.
Great, thank you.
I give thanks for all expressions of fatherly love. My relationship with my father may have been positive and nurturing, or difficult and challenging. He may have been a strong presence during my childhood, or he may have been absent. We may be part of each other's lives today. We may be estranged, or he may have passed from earthly life. Whatever our circumstances, I bless my Father and I see him enfolded in divine love. As I honor my Father, I also honor all the father figures who have helped guide me along my path. Family members, teachers, neighbors, clergy, employers, and friends. I bless them all as I recall all the ways each one, in a unique way, has modeled strength, guidance, wisdom, and patience. Their presence remains with me thanks to their gifts of fatherly love. And from Proverbs 4:11, I have taught you the way of wisdom. I have led you in the paths of uprightness. Amen.
Thank you so much, Cheryl, for that beautiful reading of today's daily word. Unity Spiritual Center is a center of prayer and healing. And during this time of shelter in place, you are always welcome to call in and leave a message, to send or email a prayer request in. I want to give you those contact numbers real quickly. The phone number where you can leave a message is 415-566-4122. Again, 415-566-4122. And you can email a prayer request to uscsf@att.net. So let's just take a moment now to hold those prayer requests in our hearts. Both the written and spoken prayers and the unwritten and the unspoken prayers. We know that they come from members of our spiritual family. So maybe not knowing the particulars, the names or the situations, but knowing that we are connected to them, knowing that they are a part of our community. Let's just hold each prayer request in our hearts. And let's know for each person that they are enfolded in divine love and that divine order is taking place in each of their lives. So now is the time to make our prayers audible. And if you have a prayer request that you would like to speak aloud, again, just use the chat section of our Zoom or raise your hand and we'll call on you and unmute you to do that, to share your prayer request with your spiritual family so that we can stand with you and support you. We will sing our song. Michael will lead us through the very beginning of it. And for each prayer request that is spoken, we will answer it with your prayer is my prayer too.
We are connected by the heart. Where do you end? Where do I start? Whatever you feel, I feel too. You're a part of me, I'm a part of you. Your prayer is my prayer too. Your prayer is my prayer too.
So is there anyone who would like to, I see Valerie. Valerie, will you unmute yourself?
I'd like to pray for my dear friend Keith Small, who's traveling to see his father at a time that he's suffering himself. May they both be blessed.
Your prayer is my prayer too.
How about Valerie and then Marcy?
I would like to hold my friend Tiffany and her husband who have been exposed to COVID and are awaiting their test results, that it's good results.
Your prayer is my prayer too.
I'd like to pray for one of Lynn's staff members. His name is Gary. Had a very bad motorcycle accident yesterday and was air flighted to a trauma hospital. He is new to the Seattle area. His family moved from Houston.
Oh, you talking about you can't hear?
And they are, as you can imagine, just struggling with not only the accident, but the fact that there's no support system for them. They've only been there about 8 months. So the good news is that the work family is pulling together all kinds of resources, but nonetheless, it is a very scary time for that family. And it's sad that it's Father's Day today as well.
Your prayer is my prayer too.
So you can go ahead and share your prayer request.
To me, Shirley?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. I'd like to ask for prayers for my friend Eleanor. She came home from the hospital on Saturday, and I'd like to send her healing blessings. Thank you.
Your prayer is my prayer too.
Anyone else like to share a prayer request at this time? We also have a time in our service where we share our blessings, things that we are thankful for, things that we are grateful for. This is your time to share those with your spiritual family here so that we can celebrate with you. So again, just indicate in the chat or wave your hand, Josephine. And then, is it Jack? Yeah. Josephine and then Jack.
Wonderful Father. He follows his own compass, his own pace, his own drum, but he does it so beautifully every day.
I'm thankful for my family.
Jack.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful that we were able to celebrate the summer solstice yesterday and actually do something and get food at order at a restaurant and go eat in the park. That was great. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
Wonderful.
happy with that. Blessings for everyone with the day after the summer solstice, another holy day, spiritual day anyway.
That's right. Thank you, Jack. Anyone else?
I'm blessed.
Juanita?
I'm blessed for my 2 grandsons that has given me 2 beautiful great granddaughters this past year. I am so blessed for them. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I'm grateful to my family, to my son. Happy Father's Day. And thank my family for all of the support. And to my sister who recently helped me put together my slides for today.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
We give thanks for this opportunity to bless and to be blessed in spirit. We give thanks for the knowledge that when we ask, it will be given to us when we seek. we will find. When we knock, the door will be open to us. We give thanks for the feelings of peace and comfort, connection that fill our hearts and minds right now. We give thanks for the privilege of praying for others in our community, in our nation, and around the globe. And we affirm that always and in all ways, no matter what appearances may be, divine love and divine order is everywhere present. And so it is. Amen.
Lift every voice and sing. Tell earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun, till our day has begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, fell in the days when hope unborn has died. Yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our Father sighed. We have come over a way with tears that has been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood who was slaughtered. Out from the doomy past till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus on the way, thou who hast by thy might led us into the light, keep us forever on the path we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we beat thee, lest our hearts drunk with the wine of the world that we get thee. Shadow beneath the hand, may we forever stand, true to our God, true to our native land.
Thank you so much, Michael.
Welcome.
And now it is my pleasure and honor to introduce to you someone who actually needs no introduction in our congregation. She is much beloved, Shirley Harris. For those of you who don't know, Shirley has a telecommunications background. She was in the Human Resources Department, which is no surprise because, as she says, she loves people, and her loving presence is definitely well known to all of us. She is a bright light, has improved our life at Unity Spiritual Center in many ways, including but not limited to her participation in Black History Month, being an usher for many, many years, and serving on the board. We are so lucky to have her be a part of our spiritual family, and it is with great great love and appreciation for Shirley that I introduce her for her presentation today.
Thank you, Reverend Maggie, for inviting me to speak today. I am really appreciative of you as well as my Unity Spiritual Center community family. We actively live out our mission and vision in our commitment to diversity and inclusion and love for everyone. However, before I begin my presentation, as is frequently done on the cable news shows, I feel compelled to fact check the President of the United States. He stated that he should receive credit for making Juneteenth popular because no one had ever heard of it until he brought it to our attention. No, Mr. President, Juneteenth has been in existence since June 19, 1866, when the first celebration was held in Texas, and subsequent celebrations occur annually throughout the United States and even internationally. So, and also this, for your information, is the 155th anniversary of the emancipation that set slaves free. So it is you, Mr. President, who is uninformed. Thank you for indulging me. Now, I will begin my presentation. So, what is Juneteenth? Let me first say that how it came to be called Juneteenth is the month June and the day 19. So it's a combination of June 19. And that's because the dates come together, and that was in 1865 when the slaves in Texas were notified that they were free. So hence Juneteenth. It is an official, unofficial holiday celebrated June 19th, and as I said, it commemorates the emancipation of African American people who were enslaved in the United States. It was first celebrated in Texas, where in 1865, in the aftermath of the Civil War, slaves were declared under the terms of the Emancipation Proclamation that was actually signed January 1st, 1863 by President Abraham Lincoln. In 1980, Texas was the first United States state to declare Juneteenth as a state holiday. Juneteenth is not a federal holiday at this time, but 46 states and the District of Columbia recognize it as a state or ceremonial holiday. And I will give a more current update toward the end of my presentation on what's happening with the holiday for Juneteenth. So, what is the meaning and the history behind Juneteenth? On June 19th, 1865, Union troops led by General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas, to break the news to the last of the remaining Confederate sympathizers that they had lost the Civil War and all slaves must be freed. The general read the following paragraph from the Emancipation Proclamation. I will try to adapt his voice. This involves an absolute equality of rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves, and the connection heretofore existing between them becomes employer and hired laborer. That is General Order Number 3, signed by Abraham Lincoln, which meant you no longer own your slaves, they are free. And if you are interested in having them continue to work for you, you must have a relationship that is now that of employer and paid laborer. Well, I can imagine that probably didn't go over too well with the slave owners. While President Abraham Lincoln abolished slavery in his 1863 Emancipation Proclamation, rebellious Confederate strongholds across the South delayed widespread implementation. The reason why the news took so long to travel and why slavery persisted in Galveston for more than 2.5 years after Lincoln ended the practice is not clear. However, legend has it that a messenger on horseback was sent to deliver the news of freedom and was murdered en route to Texas, while other historians blame Galveston's isolated nature barrier in that it was an island on the eastern edge of Texas and that there was limited access to communication. However, Professor Nowick Brooks, PhD, Director of American Studies and Professor of African Studies at Cornell University, said the news was intentionally delayed and it was fueled by nothing but greed. Why greed? What greed? Well, there were crops to be harvested. There was cotton to be picked. And so now, where were the plantation owners to get their laborers? So, rather than notify slaves back in 1863, when they were truly freed, the slave owners chose not to do so for their own selfish greed. That is probably more believable, in my opinion, than the other reasons given. Nevertheless, Juneteenth has been passed down through Black communities ever since, according to Rooks. The power of the Black Power movement, with its emphasis on pride, culture, identity, and reclaiming history, continued to keep the interest in Juneteenth alive. Today, in 2020, the death of George Floyd of Minneapolis, who died in police custody, as a policeman held his knee on Mr. Floyd's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, has brought new emphasis and interest to June 19th. We see what is happening with that movement today under Black Lives Matter. It's very widespread, and they are walking and protesting and marching against systemic racism as well as police brutality. So this year, in 2020, Juneteenth has taken on a new meaning. How is the holiday traditionally celebrated? Well, the newly freed slaves celebrated emancipation with prayer, feasting, song, and dance. And the following year, the first Juneteenth celebration was born. That was in 1866. The traditions included public readings of the Emancipation Proclamation, traditional song, such as the two that you heard from our musician Michael Hatfield, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, Lift Every Voice and Sing, which has become known as the National Negro Anthem. There were also readings of works by noted African-American writers, such as Ralph Ellison and Maya Angelou. Celebrations also include, especially today, rodeos, street fairs, cookouts, family reunions, picnics, and there's still some historical reenactments. But I would be remiss to not tell you that the main focus, the primary focus on these celebrations is the food. And the food consists of dishes you have heard of. Barbecue of all kinds of meat. If it could go on a grill, it was placed on a grill. So you had your beef, pork, chicken, and some maybe wild food as well, wild meats. There were greens, black-eyed peas, tea cakes, candied yams, red velvet cake. But the most important was what was drank during those celebrations. And some of you I know who are familiar with this know that it had to do with the color red. So it was the red soda, okay? In Texas, it was known as a can of Big Red. And also, at the celebration, you must have juicy red watermelon. Again, what is the focus on red? Well, the red symbolized the millions of slaves who suffered and died before they were able to receive emancipation. So that is why there are so many stories about red and watermelons, including some derogatory ones, which I can tell you about maybe when we're doing our fellowship hours afterwards. But as I move toward conclusion, I want to share some good news with you. And that news is related to where we are today in relationship to Juneteenth and racism. First, two governors, Governor Cuomo of New York and Governor Northam of Virginia, last week announced that they would recognize this past June 19th as a paid holiday, a paid state holiday, and they would work with their legislators to make it a permanent state holiday. And the other very good news is Senator Kamala Harris, in collaboration with Senators Tina Smith, Ed Markey, and Cory Booker, just announced a bill to make June 19th a national holiday. It's just me, but I have a feeling that it will not take as long to have Juneteenth become a national holiday as it did to have Martin Luther King become a holiday. The nation is in a different place at this time. And lastly, the Black Lives Matter protests have brought so much renewed focus to the plight of Black Americans and the systemic racism in our nation that private companies will also begin designating Juneteenth as a paid company holiday. And these companies, some of them, to name a few, include Best Buy, General Motors, Google, JCPenney's, JP Morgan Chase, Lyft, MasterCard, the NFL, Nike, Postmate, Target, Twitter and Square, and Uber. So those have already announced, and there are probably more in the making. So let me say, while I recognize that much more is needed to rid our nation of this systemic racism that still plagues so many of us here in America, I am inspired by the diversity, however, of those currently marching and protesting. I believe they will cause effective, meaningful, and transformative changes to occur. Why do I feel this way? Because this young generation of millennials and Gen Xers will accept nothing less. And the rest of America understands the plight is real. And the elders are tired because they have waited long enough to breathe. I thank you for your time and your attention. And thank you again, Reverend Maggie, for allowing me to share what I've learned about and know about Juneteenth.
Thank you so much, Shirley. And let's all show our appreciation for that wonderful presentation that she put together. As I've posted on my own social media page and also on the church's Facebook page, anti-racism work is spiritual work. And so I really appreciate the time that you took, Shirley, in helping us not only to have a historical understanding, but also a spiritual understanding of Juneteenth. And I just appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I want to give people an opportunity just to go within as we have our guided meditation. And so I invite you now just to sit back wherever you are. That may be your chair or your couch or even your headboard. I just invite you to take a few slow, deep breaths. and move down to your heart center as you feel your heart open and expand. Let us enter this time of prayer and meditation. Prayer is a way of recognizing and accepting our oneness with God, by which we are able to transform thoughts and rise above circumstances. We reach within to the light of divine life, love, wisdom, and understanding that we need in order to harmonize any discords and heal any concerns. And we do this by quieting our minds. So I'm going to read a series of 3 affirmative paragraphs. Each one will be separated by a short period of silence. And I invite you to listen to these words and embrace them as if they are your very own. Established in the center of my being, I am still and peaceful. With every breath, I drop deeper into the center of my being. I settle into the silent yet perceptible presence of God, my source. Waves of peace flow through my body and my mind. I become still. In the silence of prayer, I am peaceful. God is the wisdom that flows as intelligence throughout every cell in my body and every thought in my mind. Centered in divine wisdom, I breathe out thoughts such as I can't or I don't know. I realize I am capable of knowing all I need to know for the moments ahead. I am inspired to think and act in ways that support well-being flowing from prayer. In the light of spiritual understanding, I behold divinity within all beings. Illuminated by the light of spiritual realization, I radiate peace to bless every being in this world. I focus upon the truth that unites us all, the divine origin and essence we share. I say to all beings, I see God in you. as our prayer time comes to a close, and give thanks for our unity of spirit and oneness with God, knowing our increasing capacity to embody divine wisdom, life, faith, and understanding. We return to our activities, uplifted and re-energized. So begin now to move again, maybe your fingers or your feet. Take a few deep breaths again. And when you're ready, come back to waking consciousness and open your eyes. So now is the time we get to say our tagline, our wonderful tagline. Here at Unity Spiritual Center, we are an
Ocean of love.
Here at Unity Spiritual Center, we have an inspiring vision, an exciting mission, and compelling values by which we strive to live, and I invite you to join with me in saying them aloud. Our vision is, centered in God, we co-create a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. Our mission is, we are a creative, joy-filled spiritual community dedicated to healing, inspiring, and transforming the lives of all people through prayer, education, and love. And our values are, we are spirit-led, generous with resources, inclusive, joyously creative, and guided by integrity. And feeling inspired by our vision, mission, and values, feeling so enriched by what Shirley has brought us today and what we're about to experience in our hospitality time together, let's take time now to be a channel for enrichment through our generous tithes and love offerings. I want to thank all of you who have remembered that during this time, even though our doors are closed, our expenses do continue. So thank those of you who have remembered us. And I invite you to use this time as Michael sings a special song that was selected by Shirley to end our look at Juneteenth. So use that time to write out a check or log on to our website at unitysf.org to make a donation online. So let's take a moment now to say our offertory prayer together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
It's party time. Here we go. Here we go. Yahoo! This is your celebration. Yahoo! This is your celebration. Celebrate good times. Come on. Celebrate. Celebrate good times, come on. It's a celebration, there's a party going on right here. A celebration that lasts throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We're gonna celebrate your party with you. Come on now, celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Celebration. We're gonna celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world, come on! Yahoo! It's a celebration. Yahoo! It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. It's a celebration. All right, this is the part where y'all get up and dance around. You can turn your video off if you want to, but this is where we're going to talk about it right now. It's Juneteenth celebration, and we're going to have a good time tonight. And it goes like this. We're going to have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's all right. We're going to have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's all right. Baby said we're going to have a good time tonight. Celebration. Celebrate. It's all right. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's all right. All together now. Celebrate good times. Come on. Celebrate good times. Come on. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times. Come on. And let's celebrate. Like that.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Oh. So let us bless our offering together. Spirit of the living God, bless the acts of our hands, our minds, our hearts. May everything offered here at Unity Spiritual Center be a reflection of all that is good within us. Grant us the courage to patiently listen for the stirring of your presence. Enliven our spirits with humor. Fill us with reverence for one another and gratitude for our diversity. May unity, beauty, and truth be the fruit of all we do. And so it is. Amen. So I want to make a few announcements. First, I just want to thank everybody for their participation in our service, and thank our worship team, Michael Hatfield for his wonderful music, Marcy for the wonderful slides, Jerry for working with the Zoom functions, and of course Shirley Harris for that wonderful participation or presentation. We are so thrilled for it, and I hope you had a chance, Shirley, to look at all the comments in the chat section, because I know that many of us share my deep thanks for your putting this together and sharing it with us.
Thank you.
So I want to remind you that we'll be having a Zoom meeting. Our hospitality hour follows the service. You don't have to do anything to join us. Just stay online where you are. We'll have a 3-minute break in between the service and the Zoom meeting. So feel free to go grab a cup of coffee or something else to bring to that. We are starting a new book study this Wednesday. It is, and that's the cover of it. Thanks for getting that, Marcy. It's How to Be an Anti-Racist by Ibram X. Kendi. It's a book that's been very highly recommended. So we're starting a 6-week study of that starting this Wednesday. We're doing it a little bit later to hopefully catch people who do work during the day and would like to attend. So it's going to be 4 to 5:30 p.m. And if you would like to join us on Wednesday for the first class,
I don't know.
Having read a little bit of the book, just email Jerry, and he can send you a syllabus for the entire class, which gives you the reading assignment. So his email address is uscoffice@gmail.com. Again, uscsfoffice@gmail.com. Tell him you'd like a copy of the syllabus and you can read ahead, but you do not need to have read ahead to join us this Wednesday at 4 o'clock. Also a reminder that I do a daily word reading and guided meditation every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon. And you are always welcome to join us for that. Again, the same station here, which let me just back up and say the class will also be on the same Zoom link. We have a couple things on our YouTube channel in addition to our services, which are regularly posted for you if you happen to miss a Sunday. We also have the self-care workshop that Helen did, Michael's fun Every Little Cell in My Body is Healthy inspirational video, and 2 guided meditations that I've recorded. So those are for your viewing pleasure whenever you want to log on to our channel at youtube.com. And we have a Facebook group called An Ocean of Love Community group. And all you need to do if you're on Facebook is do a search for that, Ocean of Love Community, and it'll pop up, and then you can request that you join that. We keep it private just so we can retain the safety and the intimacy of our circle, but anybody is invited to join us there. So with that, let's bless the children that we might have. I see Alonzo and Santiago being called. I'm not sure if Annette is on with Alex. Let's see. All right, there they are. It wouldn't be the same without seeing your faces, and we want you to know, please join with me, everyone, that we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the presence of God in you, empowering you to do great things. So let us sing our peace song together.
And let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
So as we go forward into this week, let us really think about the meaning of the words in that song. The moment is now, and peace does begin with each one of us. So as we look at our world and our nation, as we recommit to doing all we can to bring peace to our world and our nation, let us know that we are not alone, and that the task is not too big, because the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Thank you, God. Thank all of you for joining us here today. And please join us for our hospitality meeting Again, no need to do anything at all except maybe grab yourself a beverage, and we will be back in about 3 minutes.
Okay, dokie, let's have some fun for a second.